Hello everyone. So today is the Paper Pumpkins class, which I'm technically taping tomorrow evening. Before we get started with the class, I did want to show and share with you what I saw another demonstrator do, which is to actually use the Paper Pumpkins box to hold these cards or any cards. You could use it to hold your own personal cards, or you could use it to, to give away as a gift. Just thought that was a nice idea. I actually added on the front not only this little sentiment, but from the previous month's Paper Pumpkin, I took one of the vellum sheets and added it here. But it would look great just without it, and just a little uh, piece that hides this Paper Pumpkin. So you could just put a piece of paper over it and stamp as a sentiment if you wanted to give this away to someone. So with that idea, let's get started on the cards. So the first card that we're going to do I'm just moving my instructions over so that I have them handy, is this card. And I did, for those of you that have the Paper Pumpkin kits, I put 3 of the add-ons into one envelope and marked them. So this is card number 1. Or if you just purchase the kit, find your envelope number 1. So the materials from your kit that you're going to need, and this was all printed out in the instructions, is the Petal Pink card base and the twine and your envelope. So, and then you have the add-ons that were provided. So I'll just move this off screen. Got that so that you can see it, plus you have a picture of it and with your illustrations. But basically, what you're going to do with this, the card base, is you're going to cut out the mountain scene to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. It isn't quite exactly what the actual card base is, and this part of it is going to be covered up. I'm gonna be, because when I was stamping the embossing, I actually got some of the ink there, so I'm actually going to use this as my back. I'm providing you a sheet that you can adhere and hide the hole, and if you're doing it in the front, then the embossed wood grain is going to cover the front of the hole, and then you've got this this paper here that you can just put behind it. So you can do it either way. So the first thing that you're going to do is take some of that twine and adhere it around. I did, I think, like 4 loops. So you're just going to, adhere that down so that it sticks in place, and then loop it around 4 times. Okay, and then when I have an embossed area, I prefer to use the tear and tape to adhere it down, as opposed to the other, the seal and tape, or whatever one it is that you want to use. And also, just another tip for using the embossing folders. What what I did was, I think I've showed you before when you've got the area that's raised up. So if I had used this side of it, you can gently take a, a brush or a dauber, or a sponge, and lightly go over it so that you get some ink on that side. The other thing that you can do with the embossing folder is on the side that has the Stampin' Up on it, gently use the ink pad and just rub that on there. And then when you close it up, you will actually get within the embossed pieces, you will get some ink in there. So it just gives some additional dimensions to the paper, I think, by having it that way. So I will go back to adhering down this. Okay. And one of these, which one is not quite tight? There we go. And then you can kind of play with the strings to kind of spread them out however you want. Just make them kind of whatever. Up. Not far enough over. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then I gave you a green scallop that your mountain scene is going to fit on, so you just adhere that down. And then I pop dotted up this. Okay, and then I use the Here's to You, which I'm going to do my sentiment later so that I'm not running over to the embossing machine to do that. But, you would just adhere this down. And then for the inside, like I said, I'm adhering this to the back because of the ink mess I made. And the petal pink. And if you want to replicate this card, because if you have the kit, you have multiples of these that you could do. If you wanted to do this again, I left you the measurements and the paper colors. And then, let's see, where did I put my stamp set? All right, bear with me a minute. I know it's around here somewhere. Okay, so in the Pretty Peacock, I stamped the trees and the sentiment I also did in the Pretty Peacock. And then those cute little flying birds, I did those in Sahara Sand. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that is your first card. And, you know, on any of these, if you have questions, you guys know where to find me. All right. So that's card number 1. Let me just close these up and clean off the inks so I don't accidentally stick my hands in it. Okay, so card number 2. So this one, materials from the card kit, is the envelope again. It's going to be the envelope on all of them. Your Pretty Peacock card base. And the twine linen and this envelope liner, which we're actually going to cut up and use as paper. I mean, this is really nice, but the first thing that people do when they get your cards is they rip open the envelope anyway. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like instead of wasting this, I would much rather use this as a paper background. So and then the materials from your kit, you know, those were all like, you know, put together. So the first thing that you're going to do is for the envelope liner, you're going to cut this down to 4 inches across. Okay, so the width is going to be 4 inches, and then it's going to be 5 1/4 down. So you're going to have just a little bit that's left over, and then you're going to have a piece here that'll be left over that we're going to use for the candles. Okay, so you can just adhere this down to the front of the card base. That's the one thing I like about this seal and whatever it's called, Stampin' Seal, is that it is repositionable. Because I'm not always the best at putting the paper down the first time. And then for this little piece of leftover paper, you're going to, artist choice. You can pick out, this is the one that I used from the sample card. You can see I cut some of these out. You're just going to cut random ones out. You're going to need 5 for the outside and 5 for the inside. So I'm going to use up this leftover piece first. And you want them to be, varying sizes. And you can finalize the shape once you, you lay them down. Okay. Okay, so get all this scraps out of the way. All right. Oh, and I should have put the card out. Sorry about that. There you go. Oh, yeah. Would have helped to look at the card because you wanted to wrap the twine around it before you laid it down. That's okay. You can still lift it up. So hopefully you didn't follow me, and if you did, you can curse me out. Sorry about that. I know I'm going to curse myself out for doing this. Stick some tear tape underneath it. Okay. And then I did, with some of the leftover that you had, I did make a little bow on this one. In your little envelope, I provided you with the little flames for the candle. So the next thing that you're going to do is lay down your candles, and then I did the sentiment in Pretty Peacock again. But probably best to put your candles down first. Candles and flames. Probably going to use some glue for this. It'll just be easier. I put the fat one kind of in the center. You know, I think I did cut these down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, even a little bit more bent. So that you have room for the sentiment at the bottom. Make the blue one pretty stubby. Okay, and then for your flames, I gave you more than the 10 that you need. So get those out. Then you've got to like trim them back. I didn't want to make them too small on you. So I don't know who the smart person was that looked at this that paper that would have been sideways and said, "Oh, looks like candles." Okay, so there you go. And then happy birthday sentiment. And then I adhered the pink circle to, to the peacock scallops circle and popped it up. Okay, so there's the outside of your card. And then for the inside, just stamp the sentiment and put those candles in the bottom left-hand corner. So I'll work on the candles first. And this one, because the area that you're working with on this mat is much bigger, you can let the candles be a little bigger. Unless, like Myrna, you like to have a lot of space to write, and then you can make them short and stubby. They'll be the candles after they've been burning for a while. All right. And Maureen and your kid, I forgot to put these little flames, so I will have to get them to you. I realized that after I had dropped off your kit. Sorry. All right. Okay, I used a lot of pretty peacocks, so but there's so many colors in this, you could pick from a lot of different colors. If you have the